Welcome back. Now, there's so much activity happening in the studio today. Something smells good in the kitchen, but we have a very important topic we need to get to right now. We have Chidiebere Njoku here. He is the founder of the SEAL Project, a project aimed at raising socially and emotionally aware teens in Africa. On parenting today, we'll be discussing self and social awareness with regard to emotional intelligence. Now, those are big words.
Good morning.
Hi, how's it going?
Very well, thank you.
So, for when it comes to children, I feel sometimes like I have so many opinions on this. Bringing in emotional intelligence into parenting, sometimes I feel it's more for the parents than the kids. Do you agree?
I think it's for both of them.
Okay.
You know, it's for the parents and it's for the kids as well. Because I think we are constantly evolving, you know. So you're a parent, your goal as a parent is to be a better parent by raising kids who are socially, emotionally aware.
Okay.
Okay. So
beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay, I'm getting where you're going with that now. If you met a new set of parents and they came to your office and they asked for some advice, you know, how would you break it down to them?
First, I would want to understand their style of parenting.
Okay.
To know which style that they've adopted, you know, to raise their kids. You know, we have some, and to be very fair, all kinds of parenting work. Like all kinds of it would work, but it depends on what works for the child. So the onion is on you to find out what works for the particular child, because it should be tailored for a particular child, you know, however you want to administer it. So say you have the three types, the authoritative style of parenting, who says his word is final, the expectations are so high, there's no room for flexibility, there's no room for negotiations. I tell you this is what you're going to do, and you will do it. You want to be, you must be a medical doctor. I'll give you syringes. I'll give you, tools. And all tools to do all of that. And then you have the permissive style of parenting.
Okay.
You have this parent who are so liberal, you know, who are very flexible, who have a two-way communication, you know, room for negotiations. The kid can say, no, on the contrary, I think I want this done, and then they will listen. The interesting part of this is that those parents are more likely to be friends with their children than the authoritative style of parenting.
Okay.
Then down the ladder, you would meet the uninvolved. Those ones are most likely to be self-absorbed. They end up working 6 to 10, trying to, you know, raise so much funds, make money and all whatnot, and then forget, you know, what they were supposed to. Yeah.
So now, how does this affect these different styles of parenting? How do these styles affect how socially aware a child is? So, in my opinion, socializing a child has to do with the immediate environment.
Yeah.
And I did mention, well, before the break, or before we came in, I talked about the fact that there are some children who are given a proper educational or academic environment. Parents strive to pay for the best academic environment, but they don't really give much attention to the social environment that their children are in.
Yeah, so I think that our education here is not as holistic as it should be.
Okay.
You know, so I think that there should be room for emotional and social learning in schools and in homes. You know, so if a child is smart and he's so good in numeracy, you should also make room for value teaching, so that when this kid or this child goes to the seat of leadership, he goes with him, you know, his bag of both academic qualifications and character learning. You know, so I think we need to create a platform where values are taught. You know, a platform where social emotional learning is a big deal. It should be a big deal. I think there's some, is that in Denmark or Norway, empathy, is a must teach in
course.
Is a course, in every school. So I think that we don't even have that. I never learned empathy growing up. You know, I learned it as an adult. But I think that kids should understand what the place of empathy, because if you don't know it, then I don't think you would make a very good leader. You wouldn't understand other people's pains, and basically empathy is walking in other people's shoes. So if you're able to look through other people's lenses and walk through their shoes, then you're on your way to becoming a more humane individual.
I want to talk a bit about summer camps.
Oh,
So a lot of things that don't happen during the academic session could probably happen during summer or the major holiday periods.
Okay.
And then we have loads of people bringing up summer camps. But then there are the academic summer camps, and then there are the more social, fun,
The
behavioral ones. So there are a lot of parents that feel, you know what, I can't spend money on anything that's not maths and English. And there's some that feel, during the holidays, children should be allowed to play. Okay. So what's your opinion?
Okay, it would be better to have everything in the buffet, table, but can you afford it? And that's why the government should intervene in. So this project I have run in schools. So I go and I teach these children with a whole team of psychologists and counselors. We teach them these values. Okay. But then it costs a whole lot to run this project, because we are self-funding, with no partnership of any kind. And you go to the schools and there's no room for these teachings to be done in school. So I think that if the government can actually look inwardly and find how they can incorporate or integrate, or inject, value teaching into the school curriculum or school syllabus, it will go a long way in enhancing this. Yeah. So those children, those parents who can afford the summer camps for, would now have, to smile, because there's been some form of intervention, from the government and other organizations.
I'm actually so glad to hear that you're working on something so important.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that there are probably a lot of parents that are looking for what to do. They probably notice that their kids are not that socially aware. They notice that their children are withdrawn when they see people around them, and they're not sure how to handle it. If you have questions on this, please send them to our social media pages. Use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC at TVC Connect. Thank you so much,
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate this.